this is the video review for the Volks A3 F-15 ACTV Active Eagle from Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse. This figure is interesting in the fact that it actually predates the Total Eclipse TV show by about 5 years. This is back when they were just a bunch of light novels and manga, and you can see there's even pictures of Spaghetti and Chobi on the back here in their early novel designs. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, this thing's actually, again, it's from 2007, way before the anime, which was 2012. Alright, anyway, so another Volks A3 figure, about 6 inches tall. Mostly PVC construction except for the joints. And the Active Eagle is much like the real-life F-15 Active. It is an upgraded version of the regular F-15 as a technological demonstrator. So you can kind of say they did do a lot of remolding between the two figures. They were released in the same line, so it was kind of convenient to do it this way. Chest is different, has a bunch of small little details in there. Different head that actually moves a lot better than on the regular Eagle. You've got these large sensor pods on the arms, which explains the big gash on the regular Eagle's arm. That's just there so they could quickly do that as a variant. The feet are different now. You've got these open-ended ankle guards at the end here, and this kind of cool little thing right here on the ankle guard that kind of comes down and makes it look like it's a dragon. Green-eyed dragon! Anyway, you can see, again, more details all around. A lot of this stuff is just things that get glued on, so they were able to reuse a fair number of parts from the original figure. Little thingies on the back of the calves here. Completely redesigned jump units here, and also these things that replace the normal mount pylons. Just a pair of extra engines on the back there. So, for a lot of remolding, you know, for a figure that is very true to the design. Alright, so before I get to the articulation, I'm going to remove the typical fill-in pieces that go on the back of knees. Also, I gotta say, balance-wise, this guy's a bit better than the regular Eagle because his jump units, they kind of come down at a much gentler angle. You know, they're not quite sticking out like that. And they're also a bit smaller, or at least they have a little less mass to them. Alright, as far as like accessories go, one kind of cool thing this guy does is that the wings on the jump units can actually be taken off. You just slot off and then you can stick in a new pair of wings and feature drop tanks. So that's kind of cool. Definitely a nod to the real-life airplane that this thing is inspired by. Fortunately, some of these drop tanks don't stay on as well as they could. That's just a matter of just kind of thickening that tab there. So I'm just going to go back to the regular wings. Yeah, these things, again, they're kind of, they speak to Volks's experience as model kit makers and not so much toy makers. But, you know, I think they do a decent job at being kind of cool action figures. Alright, so if we kind of get into, actually before I talk about articulation again, I'm just going to say, you do get a little sticker sheet. You actually have to cut these out yourself, but it is just a regular like sticky film. And it's got all the numbers and everything, including that 21 that every single Strike Eagle and Alternative has. Anyway, so articulation. So I showed you, head's a bit better, does not get impeded by these two back things here. Shoulders have a good range of motion. They actually will come off if you just do that. Kind of see, and there's the one of the patented A-lock joints in there, and this moves just a little bit in and out. And this thing does do lots of nice solid clicking. Similarly, they use a double joint in the elbows. Watch out for this thing here. I don't think you could break it off easily, but it is, you know, a little end on a PVC part. Unfortunately, these things are also kind of warped out of the box, so not that great. You have a little bit of a bicep swivel. You got the wrist swivel because that's how the hands plug in and out. And you just kind of get your basics. You've seen these before in my other videos. You got fists, blade hands, and this guy does come with typical knife wielding hands as well. Waist is about the same as the regular Eagle, just kind of moves about like that. No ab crunch, unfortunately. These work a little bit better, the jump units, because they're on a bit of a nicer joint here. At least they kind of stay in a bit better. So you can just sort of move them up and down and all the way around like that to keep them out of the way as you're starting to do stuff with the hips themselves. And again, these are on a peg and they kind of click softly as they get moved up and down. Very soft click. You do have the moving panel on the end of the skirt here, the flap, if you will. On mine, one of these was paint glued and kind of broke. But luckily, our copy editor, Prometheum 5, is a master model kit maker, and he was able to fix it up pretty easily with just a pin through the joint. So thanks, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go and show you the show as that falls off. Oh, and that fell off too. These are just pegs. I mean, you can thicken these up and they will stay in better. That's not really a huge deal. So, you know, you got some bit of a thigh swivel. Articulation here is basically as far as you can get it up that way. A nice deep bend in the knees. Good ankle articulation. This actually goes back a lot farther now with the open-ended ankle guards. So, and there's a bit of an ankle tilt, which again is a bit freer, just thanks to the more open ankle guard. So these guys are kind of, as I've said before, more like upscale Revoltex than they are like a Robot Damashi figure, which isn't really a bad thing, but they're definitely not quite as up to kind of those modern standards we're used to. And this is sort of when they were starting to feel out how to do high-end collector's toys and wanted to do it the easiest way possible. So pretty cool overall. I think the only problem with this guy is he's a little sparse as far as accessories. Again, he doesn't really have much except for, you know, other hand with a gun, blade hands, and, you know, those other things as well, because most of it's just taken up by his extra equipment. And another thing is that he's kind of difficult to find on the aftermarket. I actually found this guy for a good price. He was only 2,500 yen, which is about $25. So even after handling fee and shipping, he was under 40 bucks. Fortunately, these guys seem to command like the price of over $100 on the aftermarket. Oops. Yeah, so these guys are pretty tough. Anyway, and for kind of a weird boutique figure, I would not pay over $100 for it. This guy does serve a purpose because he is, in fact, right now the only active Eagle figure until Kotobukiya makes a nice figure, because unfortunately the Revoltech line seems to be dead. Anyway, kind of cool, you know. He's an alright figure. I would be wary of like any kind of paint gluing that may happen. I'm not sure if this guy was only 25 bucks because he was a bit flawed out of the package. So anyway, this has been Andrew of CollectionDX.com with another Muv-Luv review, and trust me, there's still plenty more. Hey, stand up, you.